All right, I will get started. You may continue to see people pop in, and that's okay. But my name is Kelly Blanchette, and I am the Bereavement Services Manager here at Hospice of Southern Maine. And I welcome you to our 20th Annual Service of Remembrance. Thank you for joining us today to remember those who we lost in the last year. I'm grateful that you're here with us today and that you're giving us this time today. Irving Berlin wrote, "The song has ended, but the melody lingers on." In much less flowery language, author Mitch Albom wrote, "Death ends a life, not a relationship." The two quotes complement each other nicely and illustrate the concept of continuing bonds in grief. When a significant person dies, our love for them does not disappear. We don't have the ability to detach from the relationship or from the person. And we often have a desire to keep expressing that love. You may find yourself doing this in your everyday life. Maybe you talk to them. Maybe you cook their favorite recipe or wear an item of their clothing, or maybe go someplace that was important to them. Gathering together today to celebrate them is another way of honoring this relationship. Some of you may still be in the first few months of grief, while others may be further along on the journey. Wherever you are, I encourage you to invite your person's love in today and every day. Thank you for joining us.
This is excerpt from The Beauty of What Remains by Steve Leader. That's really all they ask of us, our parents, our lovers, husbands and wives, our children and dear friends, that we carry them gently in our lives as they carried us in theirs, not with crushing sadness, for they do not wish such upon us, but with lightness and warmth. Bless them for the memories they left for us that made carrying them with joy possible. The wisdom and love they bequeathed us. The joy and comfort they brought to us as they carried us through life, so that now we might carry them forever in our hearts, without bitterness, without crushing sadness. When someone has loved us well and long, we need not buckle beneath the weight of sorrow. Instead, we can carry them with us with gratitude, completeness, and joy. In memory of Donna Alvino, Diane Allward, Philip Ames, Hayden Anderson, David Anderson, Robert C. Avery, Walter Bailey, Peter Batten, Keith Bean, Sharon Beatty, Donald Benison Jr., Steve Boyle, Claire E. Bragg, Timothy Bryant, June Burbank, Josephine Caruso, Philip E. Christie, Peter Clark, Richard H. Claudio, Cheryl Klein, Robert W. Collette, David Cremenes Jr., Tim Curran, Albert Gagel, Philip A. Davies, Michael Del Rosa, Edna Day, Mildred P. Dakota, Francis M. Viase, Jacqueline Girardi, Laura Drummond.
In memory of Laurette Dubé, Lawrence Mark Edelman, David Edgecombe, Jessica Lynn Elsmore, George Joseph Fournier, Pat Fredette, Richard Gallup, Marianne Godet, Eleanor Gabro, Mary Lou Gowan, Mike Harriman, Robert Heron, Tom Ings, John Jasek, Ed Hillinger. Donna Lee Kinney, Jimmy Kraus, Charles Koop, Ray Lamb, Melvin Lantigua, Bonnie Jean Curry Littlefield, John Logan Jr., Bruce A. Lyons, Robert B. McLeod Jr., Natalie J. McCarthy, James O. McClelland, Richard McIntosh, Marjorie M. McEwen, Arthur Nicolini, Douglas John Miles Sr.
And in memory of Stephen C. Moody, Batman, Art Miles, Carol Payette, James C. Perry, Kitty Penner, Barbara E. Poole, Dana Lynn Radcliffe, Sherry Grew, Anna Romano, Richard Rosa, Charlotte Rousseau, Jennifer Lynn Rule, Connie Ryan, Richard Saff III, Lauren A. Siegel, Susan Skaggs, Phyllis Springer, Anthony Paul Stevenson, Louise Tardick, Paul Vadnais, Barbara B. Washburn, Marjorie L. Werner, Natalie Wheelock, William Wiley, Marjorie Phillips Williams, Lauren Corbett, John W. Williams, Rosemary F. Worth, Rebecca Forbes, Edward Vetter Bush, Henry Stewart, Diane Russo, and all the others lost in 2023. Thank you.
Deep calls to deep. At the thunder of your waterfalls, waves and billows have gone over me. I ponder this emotion-rich image, perhaps because I live within earshot of the Saco River. And while this brings a steady sound of running waters, recent days and months have stirred up some powerful roaring. Up and down the coastal region, storm damage has affected many due to record-setting high tides and gale force winds. There have been extended power outages for some and flooding for others. Roads and buildings washed away. Buildings that stood some for more than 100 years, like at Fisherman's Point, an iconic fisherman's shack that is no more. These were images, places that used to be part of the local landscape, now changed forever. Places like this have been anchors of identity and memory for generations. Deep calls to deep. The thunder of waterfalls, waves, and billows have gone over me. While we have all been impacted by regional weathers, you who gathered this afternoon via Zoom have also weathered your own personal, somewhat more private storm. And I am so very sorry for the pain of your loss. Deep calls to deep. The thunder of waterfalls, waves, and billows have gone over me. Perhaps death came to your loved one after a season of being bounced from one wave of hope to the next wave of hope, eventually ending with the hard realization that disease progression was leading to death too soon. Or perhaps you provided long, exhausting years of care as you lost a dear one brain cell at a time. And when your loved one died, your grief mixed with fatigue and relief that their suffering ended. Each of you, with personal or family or communal storms, with their own gale force winds and flooding, these have been the storms that have impacted the landscape of your identity and memories. Deep calls to deep. The thunder of waterfalls, waves, and billows have gone over me. Earlier in this passage, the author groans, "My tears have been my food day and night. My soul is cast down." Deep calls to deep. This portion of the Hebrew Bible, or as what many Christians would refer to as Psalm 42, may resonate with your inner experience. Whether or not you turn to a religious or spiritual writings to find a measure of hope or comfort, I ponder this. What might offer you hope? Hope that is a profound human and spiritual need we all have. Let me mention another source. About the same time as January's storms, news outlets featured stories about our furry red Sesame Street friend, Elmo the Muppet. Elmo asked via social media, "How is everybody doing?" I cannot ask you who are tuning in via Zoom, but I expect that in the brief moments of our gathering, as names were read, your mind scanned the losses of the recent months in your own life, stirring up deep awareness of what was or might still be raw, hot, and lonesome. Perhaps like the thousands who responded to Elmo online, you just find yourself needing someone to ask you, how are you doing? Elmo is known as an accepting, compassionate Muppet among the many colorful characters on Sesame Street. His caring question drew a torrent of responses. In response to those who were behind the scenes at Sesame Street, posted online resources for promoting well-being. Humans need the gift of hope. It's a facet of our humanity. Hospice of Southern Maine does what Sesame Street did online through the skills and care of our bereavement team. They have reached out and asked, how are you doing? As a chaplain, I would like to point you to your local faith community who might have supports and resources from trusted individuals, safe people to share grief's journey. But I also want to leave you with 4 simple suggestions to guide your search for finding hope. H-O-P-E. H, here and now. Does this resource focus on my life now, not on the past or some distant future, but today, here and now? O, others. Who are the people who might get me, who understand and can empathize with my deep emotions and struggles? P, perspective. Does this resource or person offer fresh, life-sustaining awareness or tools for coping? E, encouragement. Does this person, group, or practice promote courage? Is my heart just another bit braver for facing this day? H-O-P-E. Here and now, others, perspective, and encouragement. We need extra doses of hope from time to time, and especially during seasons of grief. I share these simple prompts to stir reflections of hope for you. Just like the roaring of the Saco River through my neighborhood has its source hundreds of miles away in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, I know that that very sound represents power and beauty and strength from a hidden place. That encourages me. May it do so for you as well.
We now invite everybody to unmute yourselves if you would like to join us in the Litany of Remembrance. This is a call and response reading. I'll be reading the first line, and I invite everybody to join me for We Remember Them. There is a little background noise, so I'm sure somebody has a television on. If you don't mind muting that, thank you. In the rising of the sun and in its going down, we
remember them.
In the blowing of the
the
wind,
blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter.
We remember them.
In the opening of buds and in the rebirth of spring.
We remember them.
In the blueness of the sky and the warmth of summer.
We remember them.
In the rustling of leaves and the beauty of autumn.
We remember them.
When we are weary and in need of strength. We remember
We
them.
remember them.
When we are lost and sick at heart.
Don't you still
We remember
them. Think of our mother?
When we have joy we yearn to share.
We remember them.
And we will show up here.
So long as we live, they too shall live, for then they are now a part of us, as we remember
As
them.
we remember them.
Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us today. I just wanted to close or give a little closing before we end with a song. I'd like to quote poet E.E. Cummings, who wrote, "I carry your heart with me, I carry it in my heart." This is one of my favorite poems because I think it speaks to grief when we lose somebody so significant in our lives. I urge you to continue to carry your person in your heart and make space for that continuing love. Consider how you want to honor that relationship and that love now. Thank you so much for joining us today. I also encourage you to treat yourself with kindness and compassion today and all days as you navigate your grief. Know that we're here at Hospice of Southern Maine. If you have any questions or want to talk to somebody, please feel free to reach out to us. Take care of yourselves and take care of that love you have for those you've lost. Thank you.
And I will light a candle for you to shatter all the darkness and bless the times we knew. Like a beacon in the night, the flame will burn bright and guide us on our way. Oh, today I light a candle for you. The seasons come and go, and I'm weary from the change. I keep on moving on, you know it's not the same. And when I'm walking all alone, do you hear me call your name? Do you hear me sing the songs we used to sing? And I will light a candle for you to shatter all the darkness and bless the times we knew. Like a beacon in the night, the flame will burn bright and guide us on our way. Oh, today I light a candle for you. You filled my life with wonder, touched me with surprise. I always saw that something special deep within your eyes. And through the good times and the bad, we carried on with pride. I hold on to the love and life we knew. And I will light a candle for you to shatter all the darkness and bless the times we knew. Like a beacon in the night, the flame will burn bright and guide us on our way. Oh, today I light a candle for you. Oh, today I light a candle for you. For you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Take care. We'll be in touch about the recording. Bye.
Thank you.
Hi, Kelly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, everyone at Gosnell House.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
That was
you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you for the photo, Mike.